Great. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, cool. So this is like the rejection level, previous high back here. And what was this, mid-August? Can't see it. 432 back. Was that August 18th? August 18th. So we've been like rejecting, not really getting this high for a while. We pushed up and held it. With those straight days of being bullish, I proceeded to think we should have a pullback, but we don't get a whole lot of room. I think us pulling back, so like where this level is on the chart, if we do, we may not, we may trade sideways until, the Fed meeting. And then we have situations that are going to come up with the Fed meeting. Either we're going to get a hike, we're going to get a pause. We get a hike of 0.25, we get a pause, or forgot the last one. I forget, I slipped what another option would be. But we're right here at this level, this kind of like cautionary for me at this. We got to 432.99 and it did not push higher. So I'm not sure if we need some sentiment that's going to push the market to go even higher. But this is the next level, getting back to that 432.99, breaking above it, and then going back up. We don't really have a lot in between here. So 450 and this 465, but I would want us to pull back and then go up, because we don't want to run too fast, because the top is right here. What's going to say that SPY can continue to push up past 400? What's in that sentiment if we run up there too high and then we just sell off? So that's some of the things that I'm looking at. Also, we just constantly see SPY. We look at SPY last year and where the HER was and where it is now, just keeps kind of getting lower and lower. We're getting a closer, just people are trading in a tighter range, and it's mainly due to us having daily expiring contracts. So just be mindful of that. And when trading, if you've sat through any of my classes, I've already told y'all, like, your safety is that $2, and that $2 is almost at your max. So you want to make sure that you are kind of giving yourself a little bit of space, maybe coming in a little bit tighter at doing $1 increments. Take the profit at $1 and then let it rise back up. So that's just something to pay attention to here. I do want to look at Adobe, because I put out like a deep range on Adobe to 450, just based off of the just a spike from ABD. If we see something like, what's Adobe? ADB? Yeah. So I'm looking at a spike if it has something like NVIDIA and takes for a run, because once they throw this AI technology and we're just seeing previews of it, we have a lot of room back to the upside. This is the weekly chart that could pop. So I'm looking like right here at this 450, and I just set like a wild card just due to the volume and open interest of 500. It's a way off. It's not horrible, but it is a way off. But if they drop that data and they spike just like NVIDIA did, it could be a run. It could, like, set your month off. It is a little pricey to get into. ATR is at 14. I would usually want to only go out to two times the ATR, so about 28, maybe $30. So that puts us at about 480. So if it jumps to 480 and you're in a 500 contract, it's a still nice move. I don't see it selling off too bad, and it could trade sideways, but it's just something I want you to pay attention to. Look at the chart, look at the range of where it go. If it comes back down, it may come back down to support 415. And this is just for the earnings play, 435. But just like I said, wild card on the 500 if you're looking for earnings. So when I pop it up, if you see it, I'm probably going to paper trade it. I'm not for sure. But if you see that one pop up, don't say I didn't say anything about it. But that is a wild card. I am looking at Kroger. Kroger's a slow mover, but they do report this week. Again, this is going to give us a little consumer sentiment. So I did want to go over this one. Anybody that has not gotten the earnings replay, you can definitely grab it to see how it plays out. But again, if we look at the ATR, let's go down to a daily. Let's get both of the ranges. Okay, so we sold down tops, 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 and then sold down. So we see if we catch a support here at that wick. And I haven't looked at the option chain here. So 444 up to 446. Let's see what the ATR. The ATR is just a buck. So if I was to trade this, I'm going up or down. I probably have to straddle this up or down to 47 or as low as where the support was at 44. Probably safety at 45. So I will go up a dollar, down a dollar, see what the option chain looks like, see if you get some movement. It looks like it's back on an uptrend from the sell-off. So that's something to pay attention to if you're looking to get into Kroger for the earnings play. But I would keep it between a buck since the ATR is at 0.8. So a dollar movement, and it could trade in between. Or if you don't see any movement this week, you could just day trade it and just stay within that dollar, see if it picks up. I would definitely listen to this call because much like we've been trading Walmart, just see what consumer sentiment is in grocery. You got Kroger, Albertson, Walmart, Target's been get hit hard. So we kind of want to look into that, but pay attention to, we got CPI data, may not make too much of a move. We may see Monday and Tuesday, we trade sideways. I would like to see us take a slight pullback, but with us getting out of bearish sentiment on SPY, we could, continue to move up. Let's go back to SPY one more time. So I just want y'all to be careful with trading this week. No trade is a good trade as long as you're keeping your capital. Don't get out here and try to just make one because we just may not see a lot of movement until Wednesday. And then once we get that, I'm not looking for any swings. If you are a swing trader, you'll look. I like to look 3 or 4 months out. Those contracts in those ranges are a little thin, which would be natural because most people are not trying to sit their money in here. And Lamada's put out too that we have witching week this Friday. So most people may not be wanting to sit in contracts and then they adjust on Friday. And it's also the ex-dividend for SPY. So I wouldn't want to get into anything until probably after Friday if I'm swinging, and I'll be looking for stuff to come out in August. Also, if SPY is on this bullish run, pretty much everything you touch will probably be gold. It'll probably go up after this week. We're not really following the same S&P pattern. Usually we go down, but since we've been in such a bear market since October, now we've held above 420. We're getting out of that. Most stocks will kind of start to come back up. Yeah, it is. And that's the only reason I like the 500, even though it's so far off, but everybody is sitting there. I'm like, why do y'all know? What do y'all know? I did see the higher contracts in NVIDIA sit the same way. So that's one of my, I wouldn't get in it on Monday. I'd probably watch the contract, see if people move out of it or if it just continues to grow. Also, if you're in the Discord, you can look at Flow, see where you can put Flow, I believe, Adobe, and we can see where the major hitters, where are they buying their contracts, and put your money, play with the big dogs play. If they're in that 500 contract or they're in a 450 or 480, you got some comfort room. I think somebody else was comparing a sympathy play with Adobe for QCon. And I'm only saying that because I heard it. It's not what I had. Let me go back and ignore all my lines on SPY. I plan to clean that up in the next few weeks because we've gotten out of some lower levels. I don't need them right now. But I didn't want to be here. I want to be in Yahoo Finance. So if Adobe's a little expensive for you, let's go down. And if anybody can think of who else trade, any other companies that trade kind of alongside with Adobe, please yell it out. But I don't remember. But because I don't trade them. But I want to look at what other people trade on Yahoo, and it might jog my memory of who. CRM. So Adobe, CRM, MasterCard, NVIDIA. So we might see some sympathy movement. If Adobe goes off, these could also go off as well. So we had a $5 movement on CRM. So kind of watch those contracts too. PayPal, not so much for me. And I think Palo Alto hit a nice move a few weeks ago. So kind of, looking in this area, that AI technology is going to be a big one. And in my private group, we talked about Oracle. So look at Oracle as well. But I think I said staying within a buck or two of Oracle at like 111, 112. So I just want to give us an overview of like how you can trade. If you have never traded the FOMC meeting, do not trade this one. Be cautious and paper trade it and write in your journal what happens, because you want to see how it trades. If they put a pause, how does the market react? We do have tech up right now, so you want to notate what happens when the Feds do a certain action. If they put 0.25 hike, what does the market do? Do they do a soft reaction? Do they do an overreaction? Or do they not react at all? If they do a pause, what happens during the pause? The market goes bullish? So make a note of that in your journal. So when these continue to go up, you know how to properly play them. I usually day trade. I don't swing. It's fairly risky to swing through the meeting because it won't start until 2. And sometimes we just trade sideways until that happens. But again, I just wanted to hop on, give y'all a little sentiment for the week, since SPY is what I go over. If I don't call anything, it's too tight. And when you're scalping, I may be in a trade 3 minutes, I may be in it 5, and I'm not gonna call a 3 to 5 minute trade. If I got a little room for about 15 minutes, then I can call it, because if you don't see it, it's not too safe to get in. I know some people had questions about how to take some of the signals in Discord. If you're some of my people and you've learned ATR, use your ATR to guide when you should be getting in and out and taking profit on the trades that Tim trades or Amethyst Vic P calls, or if you're looking at the DMR to trade, use that as your guidance. Once you get in, use that ATR as your guidance on how far or how much the trade can go. Don't just think, oh, it's 2 in the moon, I'm just gonna hold it all day. It could definitely pull back in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and it could go anywhere from 5% to over 100%. So you just have to be able to gauge that. If you're taking Quartz trades, if you're not into Quartz trade when he calls it, but then within $2 to $5, sit it out, because it's already a positive trade and it could be hitting a reversal. If we get $8 or $10, a $8 to $10 move, and we bought 10 contracts, we're up $80 and we're fine with that. So just remember, when you're looking at the trades, look at the dollar amount, get the feel that you want, or let it rest and come down and let it feel where you want. Don't really chase those contracts. If you another one will pop up. Also, if you're in the Discord, I think everybody should practice taking at least one trade or at least one paper trade with the AI and looking at the confidence in it. They give you the volume and open interest. They give you the confidence level. I like above 70. So if you see if it's a swing or a day trade, practice one of them and paper trade it. See how comfortable you get with those. Those are easy trades to grab. If we're saying we're holding our hands, AI is still working. It may see something we may not see. So that's what I got. Everybody, you can hop off mute if you have a question or if you want to look at any stocks.
Hey, Chaz.
Yeah.
It's Charlotte. Yeah, with Kroger, I noticed in the news, there's been a lot of Kroger sites in my state where they've messed up the payroll, have given bonuses to personnel that either didn't deserve them or they got more than they should, and they're trying to make those employees to reimburse back. And so there's some question as if they mess that up, how can they be successful in this merger with Albertsons? So I was wondering if that might be the reason for what I'm seeing on the chart.
It very well be. I hadn't heard the news and I hadn't watched Kroger because like this is a slow mover, kind of like one of those buy and holds. So
Yeah.
It's trending stock. I hadn't even, like I said, I hadn't heard. Now I'm in Texas and they're expanding now here. They're putting fulfillment centers coming toward Austin. So that's a big deal.
Wow.
Big here in Texas, HEB runs everything. You got a little bit of competition with Walmart, but they really don't have another big grocery competitor. We have Aldi's, but most people you got the HEB company here. Nobody does more than HEB, but the Dallas facility is bringing groceries down to Austin, and the Dallas facility is bringing groceries down to Killeen. you got to have some kind of profit margin to kind of get into this network. And then there, the next hub, they're saying the next tech area is Austin. So they're putting a facility in Austin. I see Costco popping up as well, but that could be a major competitor, them trying to roll out bigger here in Texas. I know they're more north, but I think they're pushing to come a little further south. So that's something else to counteract. Does the employees, does that affect bottom line? Are they having a lot of profit losses? Would be my concern with those people. I
Mhm.
if you gave the money, I think it's a little
It's okay.
snooty to ask for it back. You gave it to them, so you got
Right.
so.
Get up and go clean the kitchen.
Can everybody mute? Um, so that's something I want to look for, on the bottom line, or listen to into their call if anybody asks about it. But usually they're really nice on the call, so they may not even touch bases. But I would want to listen to the calls on what they want to do. If you give me a $50,000 bonus and you were over 2,000, I might get that 2,000 back. If you over half, I'm not giving it back.
Right.
I'll quit. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it would just be, I got the money. You want me to give it back? Take me to court. It's your fumble. Boom, you're gonna lose the money in court. So I would just probably walk away and meet a middle ground, pay me out, or they should eat the cost. If I overpay somebody, we're either gonna meet in the middle ground, take a vacation off, add a day to my job. I'm not giving you no money.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a little bit of business.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, so you saying they're trying to block? I thought Albertsons and Kroger already merged. Did they not?
Nope, they're blocked. They're blocked from it for
Okay.
the time.
Okay. I had no clue. I thought it was a done deal, but okay.
Yeah, not yet.
I mean, if I was Albertsons too, I had got into Albertsons a little bit early and then got back out once I made a little bit of money off of them. But again, as a company, I don't want that negative. If I'm already have a good connection with my employees, I don't want that negative connotation to roll over. I want that to blow over first, and then we can come and do business. But yeah,
Yeah.
the negativity. But I
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
watching for Kroger, if this is gonna hurt them or pull back, So that's why I say keep it a buck, just a buck or two if you go up or down, and it's gonna be drastic if this is gonna, vastly affect them, probably down to about 45 or 46 if they talk about. So I would just say let's listen to the earnings call, and we'll probably day trade it. It's not nothing I would swing. It don't move enough to even. I don't see them popping off going. They're not going to shoot to $100 or $75 a night. They're going to do $1,
Right.
and we'll walk away from it. This is going to be mostly a hit to shareholders, and they're going to try
Yeah.
to make this great to shareholders. So again, they're going to try to sweeten this some kind of way. And then, like I said, I would just lead them people alone, let them keep their money.
Is HEB still private?
Oh yeah, and I got shit.
Okay.
shares. I'm trying to get in with HEB bad. Like I love them.
Yep.
I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
shares and they're constantly growing. I think I got to look at my equity paper. I think they went up like 18%.
Yeah.
So and they have a lot of affiliations. They're good with the community. So they just I like them as a company. So I'm gonna try to get as many shares before I quit, before I retire at 40. That's the only reason I really don't want to take a position with them. I just think integrity. I don't want to give them a commitment like, look, I'm only gonna work with y'all for about 3 years and I'm gonna max out and I'm gonna
I'm
leave.
gone.
So
Deuces. Yeah.
they would probably have to offer me like 120 and I can stay at home for me to go work with. I don't know if they're
Yep.
gonna do that. I've created like 3 positions for myself, but I don't know if I really want them. So yeah, not when
Yes.
I love my HEB. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
free today. I had like some free chips that I didn't go get. I might need. I get some. You get some free every Sunday. My son works for them. You get 10% off groceries. The only thing they're missing out on that I would tell them, but it may cut money, is they don't have a discount on gas. But heck, they really don't have to. You still gonna.
Yeah.
So that's the only small drawback. But I'm sorry
Yes,
for my
ma'am.
rant on HEB and my private equity.
Thanks again.
Yeah, anybody else want to look at anything? You can hop off
I got
mute.
a question.
Yeah, question.
Yeah, this is Tanya. You put in Messenger about the quadruple witching
Mm-hmm.
day on the Friday.
Yeah.
But SPY is bullish, right? So I guess I was wondering, like, the confluence, how it won't affect the other. What you think will happen?
Historically, it's bearish, but we're not following history right now because you have CPI data, you have the confluence. All of this is in 1 week, so it's a real 50-50 for me.
Right.
Really don't know.
Okay.
But my thing would be how SPY trade. If we get a strong run up and already knowing, and I like to do this, let's make a thesis for both sides. What's the thesis for it running up? What's the thesis for it to go down? So on my bearish side, historically it's been bearish. People are going to get that dividend. They may think SPY is at a high and they'll sell. What do I lose? It's SPY gonna go down anyway. What does me pulling out? I get a greater position. I gotten it at the high, and I can reposition again at a lower price. That's one sentiment. Well, some people, you have FOMO. They see SPY running up. They think it's gonna hit 450. They can drop 100K at 420. I mean, at 425. If it pulls back, I put in a range of 430 to 425 or 420 and then 420 to 410, and really 410 is like 411, and I have a super ultra low of back at 400. But that's just to see how the week plays out. Can it happen? $4 in 5 days is $20, so we could pull back to 410. If it gets over exaggerated and we jump and go, over ATR on any day, that's quite possible. And then back to the upside, we really don't have anything blocking. It could just go on to 450. And again, just looking at $4 a day or a little bit more, $4 or $5 a day, we could definitely be at 455 at the end of the week if we run up. I say we're going to probably have a pullback and a jump during the FOMC meeting, and then we have that witching. But I'm a 50-50 just because sentiment is biased toward it being bearish, and I want to see if the market makers want to pay those people out. If they stack all those puts, market makers are not going to want to pay those people, so they might just run the market up on Friday just because everybody the puts, and they are not going to pay them. So you have to understand as an investor what you should do, and then sometimes you have to take the opposite of the crowd. And especially if we hit a wall, I'm in a put and I'm just holding it. Like I'll sleep in it because it's just gonna keep tanking. All I have to do is stop watching it. Usually we mess ourselves up because we're taking profit watching it. Just walk away from it and come back in an hour and see if we hit a support. If it sells and it's selling off, just ride it to the market about to close.
Okay.
I'm not gonna swing.
Cool.
If I swing any day, somebody type in the chat, you said you weren't gonna swing. So, because I'm not real confident in swinging any of these days. I'm looking to look at August contracts and probably January contracts for Christmas. This is the time of year that I like to set some money to the side in companies that I'm confident in: Apple, Tesla, Nike, companies like that, and get a leap or a swing, 6 month out swing, sit $200 in there, and I won't pull it out till end of August or something, or December. And I know that money will just sit there and grow in a contract
Okay.
without me doing anything, but I don't want to do it until after Friday. If you, like I said, if you look at the option train on a lot of companies right now, they're going to be thin months out right now because everybody's probably waiting for that reset. They don't want their contract to be reset on Friday with that ex dividend.
Okay. All right.
So
Thanks, Chad.
you're saying, Chastity, to purchase the contracts on Friday after all this week activity.
You said for Kroger?
No, for the Nike and the Apple and the
Yeah.
Tesla.
So once the contracts like redistribute, or if they reassess those, that's when I would want to look into them. If we get some pullback, like we're at 180, my number is still 200 on Apple. So if we pull back to like 175, 170. I just get a better entry. So y'all can look at the contract with me. So I'm looking at, I think it was December. All right, so this contract here, this $500, and then the, I believe it's the August contract. Those are the two contracts. Now, if you look here at the open interest, you might say, Chastity, so why aren't you looking at the 210? Well, I'm using ATR and I'm looking at where it can go. I don't want to overextend it. I'm already giving it $20. And how am I coming up with this at all? Okay, let's start with that. Apple has an ATR of about 3. I'm going out June, July, August, about 3 months. So I got $9. So if I get a $9 movement, I'm looking at 190. If we move to 190, I'm sitting in a $100 contract that cost me $100. I'm okay. It's gonna grow. I'm okay with that. 210, that's way beyond my ATR. So I wouldn't get in here, even though there's a lot of people out here, but it doesn't meet for the volume. So I like the 200. If I put 100 in at the 200 level and I get $100, boom, I pull 100 out. That can go towards shopping. Put the other 100 in, and I can set that in the 200. I can get back in the 200 for Christmas or the December contract. So those are the two contracts that I'm looking at.
Open a contract. Yeah, open
And
a contract for me.
$100
I'm trading.
versus $500.
Mm-hmm.
One needs to be at a computer.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
That's what I like to look at. If I'm gonna look
Yeah,
for,
man, I love this. Listen, this will make you money, Chris.
sometimes you need a little safety play when the market's just not doing well. All of my, like I have like 10 free shares on Webull. They're majority up right now because the whole market is up and I don't have to do anything. I can wake up and be up $50 and I haven't even traded yet. That's a nice day. I'm already halfway to a goal if my goal is $100 that day. Possibly. I mean, I'm not, this is what I'm looking at. If I don't get in them on Friday, I'll get in them on Monday because I just want to wait for the reset. One of my long-term traders, we're going to meet on the 26th. So I'll probably have some more confirmations after we look at the charts. We can go into detail in our one-on-ones, looking at about 20 companies. We spend about 2 or 3 hours on Zoom. And we go through the charts this way. We look at it at a 3-month range. We look at support and resistance. We look at the option chains. And we look at, a fair price, usually not over 500 on contracts that we can just get into 20 to 30, 10 to 20%, returns. And some of them go over that. And then sometimes we have like, for funsies, we have a for funsies kind of trading account where we look at some trades. We're like, oh, we like that. It wasn't on our radar, but we like it. We'll put a little money in it, 20 or 28%. It's good to take it out. So I like to assess, and that's how you can look at markets going. I also look at the puts. Now I say it's going up. We also want to look at puts to see where people are sitting at, where do they see it going down? And I usually see about that same calculation, about a $3 reduction or $3 to $9 out. You'll see people sitting there. So 180 minus that 9, you're at 170 or the 175. So there you kind of can get a safety where if we think it's going to pull back, or if it's going to go up. But I'm not looking at the data right now. I'm just kind of eyeballing it because if it get I just want to see what it's going to say on Friday. So we'll have this recording to see where the data sits for the 120, see if it's still $98 and the volume and open interest. And then also just click on the contract and see what it changes from Monday to Friday. Most people don't do this, but this is another way to just assess your contract, see where that contract has gone and where can it be. So I'm not going to assume I can get 200 out of this contract if it's never been 200 or if it doesn't have that range. So coming here and studying this is your Sunday homework to look at contracts and their patterns. It's not showing up. It could be resetting. So you could take a look in the morning. Sometimes Apple can be a little delayed. And if you can't see it here, you can look at it in bar chart. But let me refresh it, see if it'll pop up. But yeah. So this is this is where I would be looking at, because I still see Apple going up. Tesla has some more, and I've been trading Tesla out the money for a while. I haven't looked at Tesla. I haven't looked at Nvidia. It's like, oh, it's not popping up. Ooh, what's next? Oh, yeah. Sometimes it works. Let's see. It's hating because I'm trying to get you out of juice, so it doesn't want to pop up. I made sure some screenshots in the morning once it pops up. Any other questions? Anybody? How do y'all feel for next week? Is everybody comfortable trading next week, or is there any hesitation? Or are y'all just gonna play and see? How are y'all feeling for next week?
Hey Chaz, it's Evelyn.
Yes.
So I may be sitting off to the side and just making a note of things as I see it. But I did want to ask you about the Adobe Play because I know you said you were going to paper trade it. So
Yeah.
what would make you actually like play it? If you saw XYZ and you're like, okay, boom, I'm about to jump in and make this play. What would some of those things be?
Mm, continued movement this week. And it's kind of the same thing that'll get me in can also be the reason I don't get in.
Mhm.
I think I miss the setup or the entry if it moves too fast.
Mhm.
I'm just fairly bullish on it, and I'm trying not to be. So that's why I'm just kind of sitting it out. I don't want to trade it, and I don't want people. A lot of people again, they're looking at every play since the Nvidia play to match, but this one does.
Right.
This one matches not just because it's just the volume of the movement. Adobe has more movement. Adobe is already trading higher. So I would want to see a little pullback and then that jump. So when you look at here, it's already up 150%.
Mhm.
So this number, why did I pick that 500? Just because it's the last one with the right band. And it's a little affordable. If I'm going smart, like you probably be in the 160, but you got to park a K out here. So
Mhm.
risk versus reward, looking at the contract. I don't know. It's just kind of risky. You putting 500 on the line, and if it goes to 425, you're trash. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I like it. But I would want to continue to see a little movement, not much pullback. We pull back to 445 and then go back up, or if we just trade sideways and consolidate, that's cool. But I'm just interested in the call. Um, mm, yeah.
For me, I wanted to know, because of course, you know, everybody has that Nvidia play in mind, like you said, like, ooh, Nvidia, maybe this is my chance.
Mm,
Um, and so you can also lose with the hopium as well. So I just want to know
also,
what things we're looking at too.
right. The cautionary is the Nvidia play was cheaper. You see,
Mhm.
$78 contract went to 3K. We can't go out to a $78 contract out here. Like
Right.
this is not gonna move. Like it did move 400% out here, but this week I wouldn't play it. I mean, it's just very risky. I wouldn't go this far out. Like
Mhm.
when I was looking at the Nvidia, I was within the dollar amount. Again, we're using ATR, and if we double that, we're at about 480. 500 is just that solid number.
Mhm.
Now, I would rather come out here maybe 550 and $100, but it's nobody out here. Like I won't be able to sell it.
Right.
So that's one of the other drawbacks. If you get too far out, then nobody wants it and it moves out of the play. The 515, it's just that's the only thing that's really keeping me from getting the 500. It's gonna cost me 500, and if it pulls back, you're just gonna
Mhm.
lose. So
Right.
with the $78 you got, if you got in that contract and it went off 70, you less than $100 to recoup on your account. That's cool. I'm not
Mhm.
cool with seeing 400 leave my account.
Right.
So that's just, and some people are. You working with 10K, 100,000, you may be comfortable with that, but that's just a highly risk for earnings play. Again, my fair warning is is earnings can blow your whole account. You just
Right.
have to have a plan. So my plan is to paper trade to 500. Do I miss out if I don't put the 500? Yes. But do I keep my money if it bombs? Yeah. So it's just the stack on both sides is just a little bit pricier that I would want to get into. If you can do 100 on both sides, that's a comfortable play. Like let's go with something a little bit more reasonable. Now Adobe, I'm just gonna paper trade it. Whatever we miss, we miss. That's cool.
Right.
We'll figure it
Okay.
out. But let's go with Kroger and let's do an assessment with Kroger. And like I said, if I got into it, if that contract pulls back to 300 and they hold a support level, I could get in at 300. Five, a little risky for me. That's what I'll say. So I'll get in if the contract goes to 3 and it only pulls back $5 on Adobe. If it pulls back $5 and that contract doesn't move a lot, I have to assess again.
Okay.
So like with Kroger, I said we could go up $1 or 2. This 50 cent right here. The volume and open interest isn't there for me on the call side, so I would only stay right here, and it's only
Mhm.
gonna cost $100. And then we go to the put side, stay in the same place. It's only gonna cost us $100. So we have that negative news. You can get into a put for $100 if it pulls back like $1. If it goes up $1 or 2, you're not gonna lose too much. You might lose 1% or something. It's not because it's not gonna run away, and you're gonna be in profit. So that's a little bit more comfortable risk to reward when you have a equal on both sides, and it's not a really expensive contract.
Right.
Also, if Kroger pulls back, people probably will buy back into it. Kroger's just like a staple. If Coca-Cola goes on sale, you're gonna go buy it.
Mhm.
It's not one of those things we get upset. Coca-Cola found a bug. Okay, we still drink Coke. They just had that. Saying Kroger's like that company. Kroger is just one of those old companies. People still gonna buy it to. It's just like Ford. Ford keep buying into people keep buying into Ford, and Ford is Ford.
Right.
Yeah, so I like this play a little bit better. I still probably won't play it either because it's just such a wishy-washy week. I'm just gonna day trade, get my
Mhm.
20% and walk away. If you see profit, take profit. Also today, this week, give yourself a grace. If you see 15 and 20%, be happy with that 20. And if it's struggling at 22, hop out. A lot of people don't know when to give up. If it's hitting 21 and 22 and it hits 23 and drops back to 20, just take your profit. That means buyers are getting in here and they're saying it costs too much. We're not gonna keep buying here. It may pull back and go back up, but profit is profit.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody? Going once? I'll probably put this on YouTube and then send it out, or I'll send it out. I'll try to see how I can link it. I'll probably have to send it to YouTube because it's a couple of minutes long. I'll let it convert, send it to YouTube if anybody wants to rewatch it. I mean, I just wanted to get us prepared for the week. I want to try to do more of these as we go. I just think it helps us prepare. I already have a Monday call, so I don't really want to do it on Monday, but it may be like a Tuesday or do a midday check in with trading. A lot of us, some people work from home like me. Some of us don't have meetings. So I do want to pop in, throw these impromptu Zooms in where if people can hop on and you can hop on the Zoom and look at some charts with me, cool. If you can't, you can't. But it's just to give us a little more, just bringing more value to the Discord if you're available and you're in there. And sometimes you need a second pair of eyes on a chart you're looking at. You may not know who you want to bother, but all of us are available if you ask. So I just wanted to get us prepared for this week. I appreciate everybody that hopped on. If you got any questions, feel free to DM me. Do not wait. If we do one-on-ones, do not wait till you're one-on-one with me to ask questions. My email is open. If I'm not looking at my email, I won't see it. But once I see it, I can answer it. So don't feel like you're bothering me. That's what you pay for in your one-on-one, to be able to ask questions. This is why it's not YouTube and recorded. This is why we are live, where people, we can look at it real time, let's not miss any money or not get out of a trade because we're not, trying to get a second opinion. And we have plenty of people in the Discord that are avid traders that can give you a second opinion on a trade. There should never be a time where you be like, I just didn't know. I didn't know who to ask. Tag everyone or tag somebody, and one of us, somebody can get you. Tag Court, tag me, tag somebody you see trading well, and let them give you some input and some guidance. That's why we're here. Well, if we don't, this last call for questions, and then I'm gonna hop off of here. I didn't want to keep y'all long.
I have a question. Can you look at DraftKings?
Ooh, DraftKings made me like 5K when they first came out. They took it back. But I like DraftKings. Beach. You know their ATR?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's grab it. So they're close to their 52-week high. But let's look at them in FinViz and get their ATR. Any company you trade, you should know their ATRs. That's going to be your bread and butter to see how much range they have. Always know the ATR. And if you don't know on the call what ATR is, the average true range, it gives you the price and amount up or down that the stock can or possibly move in a 14-day. So we have about $1. So if I was trading them, they're in the uptrend, they hit a high and they come back down a little bit. What is this, the 20? It almost came down to the 20. So this 24.15 area, that's where the 20 is sitting. I would pay attention right there. But it look like it's got a little stair step up, but it rejected this 25. But it's in the uptrend on this chart. Let's go to trading view. What are your thoughts on them? Are you looking to trade them? Or are you getting sentiment to get in for a call or put any? Or you just looking?
I was looking for trying to see if it was going to go back up. I had been playing it last week since they had some, the playoff games.
It's like I said, it bounced off that 52-week high. I'm looking at this channel. This would be my level here. If you don't hold it, and let's go back. So on my chart, let's okay. So once I mark my lines, I got this from Youngest in Charge in our trading group to just test where my support and resistance levels are on the swing. So I take it off here. But we got this bounce here. We got a support level. I look to see if we open and hold $25. If you hold $25, take it to 26 because it's only going to $1. And you got slight resistance right here at $25.90. So I would probably be, if I take a $25, if I take in the money $25, I would be looking to get out once it hits $25.75 because we got a little resistance here at $25.90. I don't want it to get there and then spike down, pull back on me right there. I'll make this a little, just the indicator line. If we open below, this is going to be a first level support to try and test. Is 24.50. If it breaks that, then you see how far down it might catch right here at that wick. So again, I always play from my top to bottom. And that would be my move. 25, 20, hold 25 and take a 25 call or a 26. with a possible move back to 26, whatever this high was. I wouldn't wait for the wick because you needed to get here and close above and continue up. But this wick out, like I'd want to take my money right there and I can get back in once it gets above this line. So what am I looking for if it gets above that line? You're gonna be looking for, see if I can find the candle you would want to look for. A candle like this. So right here in this box, you got a support line and a green candle close above. That's what I would look for up here to see if we have more movement to the upside. I need a strong green candle, support, and then move up. So anytime you hear me say I'm looking for a close above, that's what I'm looking for. If I say I'm looking for a close below, I'm looking for a candle below like this. You be like, oh, it's selling off. I'm gonna get in the put. Well, it didn't close below, so I'm not believing the sell off yet. And it didn't. It pushed up again. So that's what I mean. If you hear me say a close above or a close below, I'm looking for that, a close below that, a supported line. But yeah, so I would give DraftKings $1 up, $1 down, but look at those levels. Watch the replay. You can add these to your chart. Just pause the video and look at those same lines because it's probably going to bounce. So we're looking for hold here, probably ride to here, test, push here, test, and then up, or we break, shoo.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody
Hey,
else? Yeah.
yes, Evelyn again. So can we look at PayPal? I know we did last time, and last week, it still had some iffy movements. It would be up, then boom, gap down. So I was just wondering if we could take a look at it.
What's What's PayPal's ATR?
1.83.
Okay, so like $2. Make you solid.
So I'm really interested to see how it will trade this week with everything going on.
Yeah, I like the support and resistance lines. I would just play right there. I
Mhm.
don't really going doing anything wild. So I would get in the money, ride it to that resistance, or ride to take that call. So 63 to 64, or 64 and being out at this resistance. It's pretty tight. We held the support here at 62. This wasn't a factor here. So I would be looking to see if 63.5 holds, then you could take it to 64.75. You might see a little rejection right here at the top, that's 64.13.
Mhm.
Let's just put a light line right there that we might want to pay attention to. As a soft rejection or pullback. And I only put that here so that when I'm trading, I know not to get kicked out right here. I can be cautious because it could consolidate right here. And
Okay.
then pick up. So just pay attention to, you may see a little pullback. If it doesn't go lower than the low, then it could come back up and keep pushing. You also want to pay attention to price action. And while you're trading live, you can put volume profile on and it'll let you see like if money is flowing there. Also your level 2. I pointed that out last week with SPY when those level 2 stacks. So
Mhm.
if you're starting to push up and you see some level 2 stack with the lower price, then they want to bring price down. They may want to entry. You may want to take profit and then reposition on the pullback.
Okay.
Most people are just like, oh, I was wrong because I got in a call and it pulled back. You're not wrong. It just pulled back. You just got a better entry. You just got to know to take the profit first. And
Gotcha.
then reposition in the pullback or ride through the pullback. Most people get in it. They let it pull back $5. They get out. It pulls back 10 and goes up 15. So
Mhm.
you have to watch your price action. And I like I said, I watch it in level 2, seeing if more people are coming in. If I'm only seeing 1 order, 2 orders, 15 orders, I'm looking for 25 orders. 2,500 orders. I'm looking for 4K orders. I'm looking for $1,000 orders. I'm looking for $500 orders, $100 orders. not my little 1 or 2 contracts. I'm looking for big orders that's gonna move the market and, make a change. So that's what I'm looking for here. But this is where, I like these levels that are set. And again, I put on that swing, high, low, and resistance. So you just mark yours. If you're having trouble, like I use mine naturally, you have trouble marking the chart, put that cheat code on there, see your support and resistance levels and play up to them. You could get a nice 20 to 30 cent move here. That's going to get you a nice percent. And if you're good at, taking your percent.
Mhm.
So yeah, so watch here. If it takes the put, be careful because you could see bounces at the wick just because support is down here. Doesn't mean pull all the way back to right here. You could get a pull back to here or here. So pay attention to the wick and then watch it go up. But if you see movement in PayPal and then MasterCard and you can see an upward movement. If you see some of the major players, like I have one of my watch list, it says China. So I can look at all of those the same. And then I have banks. So you can put all your money stocks and see if all are green, see if all of them are red, and you can trade them sympathy. Because if 1 or 2 of them are moving up, then you probably get a little sympathy with PayPal. It's going to move up too.
Okay.
Let's go. I just want to drop it down on the lower time frame real quick. Yeah. Yeah. We just want to watch. So watch your open. This will be your level here. And also you see when I dropped it to the 30-minute, that gold line popped up and I'm gonna you don't see it and then it pops up. That's point of control. So again, I talked about that a while ago, point of control. That's where price, but that's where everybody likes the price. So when you get here, you're probably going to see some consolidation. So just watch for that this week. And that's where people say, hey, we like it right here. See if it, see if they can break through that barrier. Any
Hey.
other? You're welcome. Anybody else? Michelle, what you got this week?
No, like I say, I like Adobe, just because I think it's exciting what they're doing with the AI, and I think they're getting a lot of spin off of that. And I have a spy put that I think I'm like at a 616. I think it's the end of this week, so we'll see
What
what happens
strike?
with that.
What strike on your put?
Give me a second, I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 13th. I got a 428.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. We should definitely see some pullback. I definitely take profit, when you see it. I like it. Um, that's one of my levels right here. So if we come on and break down 429.50, and if you trade in SPY, make sure you're looking at those 50 cents. So we're going court whole amount. So 428, 428.50, 428.75, and it's just gonna keep breaking down. So I got this 428.85, like that's like a bounce area. So if we can complete this little curve down and then probably bounce back up if FOMC is good. But I got all these intermediate levels, and so they're broken because those were anticipated levels that we hit. And if I just go back over in my chart, we hit them. It was an Oracle consolidation period. So these should either be changed to solid because it was a level that we did hit. And if it's just consolidation and not like a major supported level, I'll just go on and take it out. So I get a cleaner chart. So now I can look and you'll be like, how did she know it's going to the T and bouncing? Because that's where the previous money was at. That's where they bought it back up the last time. So I just follow the money. Where did they buy last time? Again, you see these triple bottom. I'm like, I'm right in here. I was waiting for this put all day because what? What's this? Somebody hop off mute and tell me, what did y'all see right here? What did I see right here that made me want that put?
Gap.
Yeah, we had that gap. What do we say about gaps? All gaps must fill. So while this is spiking up, I think this spike here, somewhere in here, or was it this one? I think it was this one. This one is when I saw that 2,500, the gaps. I mean, I'm sorry, the short plays. It was somewhere in here. But when I saw those stack, I knew it was going for a put, and I was waiting. So when this spike, I was in a put. It came down. I was green. It came back up. It rejected this high. I stayed in it. That thing tanked off. I took my profit. Why? Because it's bouncing off my support. Did it go lower? Yes, but I don't care. I got my money right here. From here to here. That's where I got my money. And I was okay with this because it did not push above this support. This rejection right here at 4, and it really did not hit 431.99. It rejected 432. So I knew it was gonna sell off. What do we get? 1, 2, 3, 3 triple bottom. We going back up. And what do I say here? You're gonna take a $2 move. We're at about 28.90. So you could take 29 or the 30. Boom. That was easy money. All you had to do was count 1, 2, and you're up. Count what you're doing here. Now, this is the end of the day. Now, if you're gonna take a put, just take $1. Don't be out here at the end of the day taking $4 ATR, $2 move. You just take this down $1, 30 to 29, right back at your support, and that's where it consolidated. So it looks like it's a lot of miss on my chart, but those levels, I traded to the T, to those marks. I'm gonna trade it right here to this. Boom, I'm out. But I like that 28 because I see it down here. And all I do is just come down and just watch it hit levels. And I'll be like, I'm looking for 425.83. And it could get within that zone. Also, this is a 5-minute. Let's go back up to a 30. Volume profile is down here at 419 on the 30. Volume profile is so much lower on the lower time frames. How do I know? It doesn't. I keep a goal line to let me know where my ATRs are. I mean, what my volume profiles are, but I know which one it is when it doesn't break all the way through the chart. So I know that's my volume profile because it stops at the volume profile. But I just like to look at it on multiple time frames to see where it's really sitting. But here we're sitting right here. So if we get a low, you got 428, it could possibly go 426. That's where everybody was buying it. But you can just pop it on and off and look at it in multiple time frames. I really don't one, it's okay. We're consolidating. That just gives you the day where everybody was buying. You want to move to the higher time frame to see the overall price action that people really want. I would see this if we just start to sell down. This is where I would probably want to see people bounce off of about a 426. I won't lower. If I pull my, I sent a picture earlier of my chart. Let's go out a little bit more. So that was my prediction. I'm way down here. This is my line for Friday and 400. Probably we may not get it, but that was the prediction based off way back here. Did I take it off? This move here. So last June we were at 415 and sold down to 436 in just a matter of days. It was very bullish. We're not really set up that way, but I put it there just to see what happens. It'll be, a lotto to see if it retraces this whole range, but I don't see it doing that much because it just tanked off from a higher point. So this was June 8th. We didn't get this on Friday, but that was 412 on the 8th to 8 days later down to 360s. That was just a crazy move. So I took this measurement and then brought it back over to now. And then I just put that line and I just said, let's just see where we stop on the 16th. And I just put a line for 400, but that's just a magnet. But now I'm looking at more of a 420 because we broke above 420 and we're holding it. Let's see if we break 420 or get closer back to 420. So my level of range is 430 to 450 and on the low 430 to 420. And I'll just play what I see. I don't have to be right. It was just a analysis and I put it on the chart.
So I do have a question. I know one thing that happens to me because in the past I'd kind of struggle with risk management. So I'm trying to be tighter with that, and I keep missing. Like I've picked the right direction, and then the stock kind of moved around, and that trip my personal. I didn't have stops set up, but my personal stops. I get out, and then the stock goes where it's supposed to go, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's like I'm just losing money, but not only am I losing it, but I'm seeing the stock go where I thought it would try to go. And then sometimes I'll try to hedge because I'm like, okay, it's going in a different direction. So then I jump the other way. And of course, it doesn't do that. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing.
That I've experienced that too, and I've been doing it with paper trading. And if you're experiencing it with SPY, don't feel bad because that's just how SPY is trading. So you have to kind of commit to it. And I would say give SPY a little bit of room. So if you're trading, kind of scalping at a 5 or 10 minutes, give the trade 30 minutes, even with your personal stop. I've given SPY about a 40% room, and then that thing takes off the other way. So you just kind of gauge. I would kind of back out of it with your live trades and go back into paper trading so you can watch and get a comfort level and build that confidence and get a range. Because look at SPY here. None of this, and this is just on the daily. If we drop it down, SPY all over the place. Like it just moves and it consolidates and it wicks and breaks people out. So it's a common measure right now. So if SPY is not, entertaining the plays that you want, I would say move around from SPY, go look at the cues, see if you get a little comfort with the cues, and then come back. Because just SPY, I'm experiencing that too. And you'll see it push up, it's oversold, it should pull back and it consolidates like this, does not pull back like it's supposed to and jumps off again. The thesis would be correct. We've been over bought for several days, overbuying, there should be pullback. We understand it. So the technical analysis tells us it should be a pullback. And what happens? It doesn't follow that and goes up again. So sometimes we just have to play the trend instead of what our technical analysis and play what we see and not technically what we think will happen. But I say practice not this week, practice after this week once we get some settlements. So because these last couple of days have just been, quite trifling with SPY. And it's just like this right here. You get in this, it's supposed to pull back and then it wicks up. So this is killing people's stop losses right here. Because they're in a put. So they got a stop loss set right here. It spikes it up and then it doesn't go, it slightly goes up and then comes back down. But this has already killed your put and it comes down to probably your exit, which was here. It just didn't take it. It ran through people's stop losses, then comes down, took everybody money. So it, like liquidity, honey. They saw liquidity up there, came and got it. They knew people's strikes were there. It's just gonna take a little bit more practice, Michelle. Don't feel bad. It got me trapped up a day or two, and I just stopped after I got in at like $30 or $40, and I lose 5 here, and then the trade comes back, and it looks like a reversal, and then it goes back. I was like, I'm done. After 1 or 2 reversals and not in the trend with my TA, I just quit. I'm just like, I'll move on. I'll go take something else. I'll go take an AI play, or I'll wait for somebody else to call something because it's just all over the place. Go and stop sharing. I appreciate everybody here. Any questions before we hop off? No, like I said, it's not just you. And again, we have those days, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like if I have them, again, I just look. It's time to walk away, get out from that trade, or I'll go trade something else. If SPY gives me too much trouble, I'll go down to Apple. I'll go trade Microsoft. I'll go trade Nvidia if it gives me a little more, room. Or if it's a Friday, we're gonna trade Tesla. So, but I appreciate everybody. If you didn't get your question answered or you were thinking or something comes up in the next hour, feel free to DM me or shoot me a message. And I'll get back to you. Other than that, happy trading, and I will see y'all in the morning.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
Good night. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome.